You carry dreams, ambitious visions, a future that feels almost real every night. When your head touches the pillow, you see it clearly, a project, completed, a version of yourself, stronger, more respected, more alive. You see yourself becoming everything that today feels distant, and for a moment, you believe, you truly believe, this time will be different, that now it will finally happen. But then, days pass, weeks accumulate, and slowly, almost unnoticed, you find yourself in the same place again. Same excuses, same fears, same emptiness, just better hidden behind distractions. The project that once excited you fades away. The goals that once gave you energy are forgotten. And that powerful future version of you becomes nothing more than another quiet frustration. Then comes the thought, maybe I lack discipline, maybe I'm not enough, maybe this is just not for me. But what if the problem goes deeper than that? What if it has nothing to do with discipline, focus, or luck? What if there is a part of you working against you, a hidden part, silent, unseen, but powerful enough to stop you every time you try to move forward? And even worse, what if it believes it is protecting you? This is what Jung called the shadow. And if you never face it, your dreams will continue to collapse before they even begin. Not because of the world, not because you lack ability, but because inside you, there is a conflict you don't even see, an invisible war, and you keep losing it because you don't know it exists. Jung once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. But this is not fate. This is self-sabotage, subtle, intelligent, deeply rooted. The truth is uncomfortable. You don't fail because you are weak. You fail because somewhere within you, you are afraid of what happens if you succeed. Afraid of being seen. Afraid of rejection. Afraid that you are not as capable as you imagine. Or even more unsettling, afraid that you are. Afraid that becoming who you truly are will separate you from everything familiar. In this journey, you will begin to understand why your dreams never materialize and how to face the real obstacle, yourself. If you're tired of starting and stopping, if you feel something unseen pulling you backward every time you try to move forward, then this is your mirror. But be careful, because what you see may change everything. Once you recognize your shadow, you cannot pretend it isn't there anymore. So take a breath and stay with me, because now the battle is no longer outside. It is within you. The greatest illusion you carry is believing you are only what you know about yourself, what you show, what you control, what you call I. But that I is only the surface, just the tip of something much deeper. Beneath it, there is a vast inner world, quiet, unexplored, often ignored, and it is exactly there where the true source of your self-sabotage lives. Jung called this inner territory the shadow, a hidden part of your psyche, where everything you once rejected, denied, or suppressed still lives. Anger, envy, ambition, the desire for power, selfish impulses, unresolved pain, shame, fear, but also courage, leadership, greatness, even genius, everything you could not accept. You pushed into the dark, and the more you ignore it, the more it begins to operate. From the shadows, silently, influencing your thoughts, guiding your decisions, undermining your direction, shaping your life. Without your awareness, from a very early age, you were trained to hide parts of yourself. If you were punished for standing out, you learned to disappear. If ambition was labeled selfish, you learned to hold yourself back. If shining meant rejection, you learned to fail as a form of protection. The shadow is not evil, it is protective, but it is blind. It does not see the present, it reacts from the past. It tries to protect you from dangers that no longer exist, using patterns that now only hold you back. That is why you dream big but live small. Because one part of you wants to move forward, and another pulls you backward. And as long as that part remains unseen, it will always be stronger. You may try everything, set goals, make plans, watch motivation, build routines, repeat affirmations, but if inside you, success feels like exposure, if visibility feels like danger, if achievement feels like loss, you will always find a way to stop yourself. And the most dangerous part, you will justify it. You will say, it wasn't the right time, that you were too busy, that something unexpected happened. You will create explanations that feel logical, so you don't have to face what is really happening. You will believe the problem is outside, when in reality, it has always been within. And this part of you is not against you out of hatred. It works against you because it is trying to protect you from something you don't even remember fearing anymore. That is why Jung said, meeting the shadow is the first step of becoming who you truly are. You cannot build your future while fighting something you cannot see. But now, you know it exists. So the question becomes unavoidable. How does it actually work? How does it stop you without you realizing? How does it make you quit right before things begin to move? This is what we will uncover now. And once you see the pattern, you will never be able to ignore it again. Think for a moment, how many times were you close to something important and still you let it slip away? It wasn't a lack of intelligence. It wasn't a lack of ability. You knew what to do. You understood what was at stake. And yet, you delayed. You avoided. You sabotaged yourself. And afterward, you explained it away. It wasn't meant to be. I'm not ready. Maybe later. But somewhere inside you, you already know. This is not new. It has happened before. Jung said, the shadow does not act randomly. It follows patterns, predictable, repetitive, like a hidden script. You keep living without realizing. These patterns are not accidents. They are protections. But in protecting you, they also hold you back. They sabotage your growth, your exposure, your evolution. And the closer you get to a breakthrough, the stronger they become. So now, let's bring them into the light. 4 hidden mechanisms. And as you listen, pay attention. If something feels uncomfortable, it's not random. It means it is active within you. 1. Fear of visibility. You say you want to grow, to be seen, to be recognized, but the moment attention comes, something inside you tightens. You lose momentum. You hesitate. You disappear. You delay posting. You avoid showing up. You postpone what matters, and you don't understand why. The truth is simple. Your shadow links visibility with danger. Maybe once, being seen meant criticism, attack, humiliation. So now, every time you begin to rise, your system reacts, disappear to stay safe. 2. Guilt for rising above others. If you grew up in an environment where success was rare or even judged, then growth feels like separation. If I succeed, I leave them behind. Even if you don't say it out loud, your shadow feels it. It sees success as betrayal. So to stay loyal, you hold yourself back, not consciously, but deeply, silently. 3. Attachment to unrealized potential. Some people build their identity around what they could be. The talented one, the one with potential, the misunderstood mind, but turning potential into reality changes everything, because reality has limits, mistakes, criticism. The dream feels perfect. The result never is. So the shadow protects the illusion. It keeps you dreaming instead of doing, because the fantasy of greatness feels safer than an imperfect reality. 4. Fear of discovering your limits. As long as you don't fully try, you can believe anything. I could be amazing if I really wanted. You live in possibility, But real effort brings a dangerous question. What if I'm not as good as I think? What if I'm average? The shadow avoids this at all costs. It protects the image by preventing the test. These patterns are not flaws, they are strategies, old defenses, created at a time when something felt unsafe. But now, you are beginning to see them, and once you see them, you cannot unsee them. So the next question arises: where did they begin? When did your mind learn that success is dangerous, that shining brings punishment, that growth means betrayal? In the next part, we go deeper. We trace the origin, because once you understand where the shadow was formed, it begins to lose its power. And that is where real change starts. The shadow is not random. It was shaped, formed, programmed, a part of you that learned early that certain emotions, certain impulses, certain traits were not safe to express. So they were pushed away, hidden, buried. Jung saw this clearly. The shadow is an adaptation, a response to the psychological reality of childhood. When you were small, you didn't have the ability to question your environment. You adapted. If crying brought rejection, you learned to silence your sadness. If ambition brought punishment, you buried your drive. If standing out created distance, you learned to disappear. Not because your feelings were wrong, but because in that moment, in that world, they were dangerous. And a child will do anything to preserve connection, even if it means losing themselves. That is why the first real step toward breaking self-sabotage is a question few people dare to ask. When was the first time I learned that being myself was not safe? It sounds simple, but it opens doors that have been closed for years. It brings back memories you didn't know were still shaping you. Maybe you were the gifted one who had to shrink so others wouldn't feel threatened. Maybe you were loved only when you stayed quiet, when you didn't ask for too much, when you didn't take space. Or maybe you watched someone close to you get punished for trying something great, and something inside you decided trying leads to pain. Jung understood this deeply. The shadow is built from these moments, unprocessed memories, subtle wounds, invisible conditioning, and the most unsettling part, you may not even remember them, because your mind hid them to protect you. But even if the memory fades, the pattern remains. You still delay, you still retreat, you still hold yourself back, because somewhere within you, a part still believes you are in that past, that growing is dangerous, that ambition is selfish, that standing out means losing connection. But when you trace the origin, something begins to shift. You start to see clearly what was true then is not true now. And in that moment, the illusion weakens. You realize you are no longer that child. Today, you can protect yourself. Today, you can express yourself. Today, you can choose differently. You can rewrite the story. But understanding the origin is only the beginning. Now comes something deeper. You must listen, because the shadow is not just an idea. It has a voice, and that voice needs to be heard. Jung spoke about a powerful process, a direct encounter with what lives inside you, not as an enemy, but as a guardian of something forgotten. You can spend your entire life running from yourself, but there is a truth most people avoid. The only way out is through. And now, you stand at the most important step, to face it, to look directly into your shadow and listen. Jung called this active imagination, a space within you where the unconscious, it can finally speak. But this is not thinking. This is not analysis. This is experience. You give it form. You give it shape. You give it a face. You meet it within yourself. So now, close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Imagine a place, a dark room, a forest, an empty space, and invite it. Let your shadow appear. It may look human or distorted or unfamiliar. Whatever it is, do not resist it. Look into its eyes and ask, "Why are you stopping me? What are you protecting me from? What are you afraid of?" And then, listen. Not to respond, not to judge, just listen. Let it speak, without interruption, without trying to fix it. And what emerges is often revealing. You may hear something like, "I'm stopping you because when you tried to be yourself, you were hurt. I'm afraid that if you're seen, you will be destroyed, like before. I protect you from failure because failing for real is worse than never trying." And in that moment, something shifts. You are no longer controlled by something invisible. You become aware, present. You step into a new role, not the frightened child, but the adult, the one who can observe, understand, and choose. Jung saw this as something sacred, a dialogue between what you know and what you have avoided. Not to destroy the shadow, but to integrate it, to recognize that it was trying to protect you, even if it did it in the wrong way. And now, you can answer back, not with resistance, but with clarity. "Thank you for protecting me. But now, I can take care of myself. I am no longer that child. I can be seen and still be safe." This is not a one-time moment. It is a practice, a relationship that grows over time. And with every conversation, something changes. The shadow becomes quieter, less reactive, less controlling, until slowly, it stops being your enemy and starts becoming your ally. The same energy that once blocked you begins to support you. But this process is not complete yet, because the shadow does not only hold fear, it also holds power. Parts of you that were buried along with the pain. And now, it is time to reclaim them. You were taught to be afraid of certain parts of yourself. But here is the truth. Many of those parts are exactly what you need to move forward. The shadow does not only contain shame, pain, or trauma. It also holds your strength, your ambition, your creative fire, your authority, your ability to say no, your ability to say, "I deserve." These qualities were not lost. They were hidden, exiled, by misunderstanding. If setting boundaries was called selfish, you learned to suppress your voice. If believing in yourself was called arrogance, you learned to shrink. If shining cost you connection, you learned that greatness is dangerous. But Jung made one thing clear. What you reject does not disappear. It transforms and it returns as resistance, as procrastination, as emotional chaos, as paralysis, until you face it, until you reclaim it. So now, it is time to look honestly, to ask yourself, what part of me have I been afraid to become? Ask yourself, what qualities do I judge in others but secretly admire? What bothers me about successful people? What do I believe I cannot be and still be accepted? Look carefully, because what you reject outside often reveals what you have denied within. Maybe the aggression you fear is the strength you never allowed yourself to use. Maybe what you call humility is actually fear of taking a stand. Maybe what you call kindness is just survival, a habit of pleasing, so you won't be rejected. Now, bring these qualities to the surface, name them, see how they appear in others. Notice how quickly you judge them, and then reinterpret them, give them new meaning, a new language. Selfishness can become self-respect. Arrogance can become self-assertion. Coldness can become emotional clarity. Insensitivity can become discernment. ambition can become loyalty to your purpose. When you reclaim these parts, something changes. You stop operating as half of yourself, trying to be safe, trying to be liked, trying to fit, and you become whole, a person with light and shadow, acting from truth. But integration is not imitation. It is not about forcing yourself to act differently. It is about owning the energy with awareness, with responsibility. It means you can be firm without being cruel, visible without being arrogant, ambitious without losing your integrity. But even now, the shadow may resist because its role was to protect you, and it does not disappear just because you understand it. That is why Jung suggested something powerful, a negotiation, a conscious agreement between you and what lives inside you. Not a fight, a pact, a kind of inner peace treaty, because for so long, you have been at war with yourself, trying to overcome fears, impulses, resistance you didn't understand. But now, you have a different opportunity to work with it, but not against it, to create what Jung described as a conscious relationship with the unconscious. Because the shadow will not vanish. It was built to keep you safe. And as long as it senses danger, it will continue to hold you back. That is why you must make a deal, a contract with your shadow. Not something mystical, something conscious, a declaration between two parts of you, the adult, aware, capable, and the wounded part still trying to protect you. And it begins with recognition. You say, "Shadow, I see you. I recognize that you protect me." When, name the pattern. "I understand that you do this because you are afraid." Name the fear, the real one, the deep one. Then you thank it. "Thank you for trying to keep me safe. You did the best you could with what you had. Because of you, I survived." And then comes the shift. Now, I am no longer that child. I have resources. I can protect myself. So I ask you to allow me, and here, you name it, the step, the project, the life you want to move toward. And finally, you offer something in return, not as a bargain, but as care. Care for what your shadow fears most. In return, you make a commitment, not to force yourself, but to support yourself. I commit to protecting my boundaries clearly. I commit to feeling what I feel without judgment. I commit to moving forward without exposing myself recklessly. I commit to not depending on external validation. You are not abandoning your shadow. You are reassuring it. You are showing it that you can handle life now, that you are no longer powerless. Write this contract, sign it, read it out loud, and return to it, especially in the moments when old patterns begin to appear again, because this is not just words. This is a transition, a symbolic crossing from who you were to who you are becoming. A moment where you decide who is in charge, and for the first time, it is you. But understand this is not the end. The shadow is not something you conquer once. It is something you learn to live with, to understand, to integrate again and again. And every time you do, you become more whole, more real, more aligned with who you truly are. So if something in you has been stirred, if you recognized patterns, fears, or dreams you once abandoned, don't ignore it. Acknowledge it. Say